What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason&Jabari Gaming, and today we have Map 8, Day 2, my full path, my thoughts and reviews on the Map 8 situation in its entirety. So on my first section, I have Path 5. On Day 1, I was asked to bring in Dr. Doom, and I literally almost timed out with Dr. Doom on this path. I don't think that Dr. Doom is optimal for this path, but it is recommended to bring in a Mystic. But with Divine Barrier and everything else going on with this path, I elected to do Nick Fury from finding out pretty much the hard way with Dr. Doom on Day 1. This is all unboosted. Day 1 we pretty much were told to boost. I don't necessarily think my path needs to be boosted even in the later days, which is, I think today was day 4 or 5. I don't think that you actually need to boost, but I do think that certain fights do need a longer timer duration. I don't like this Hulkbuster with Nick Fury. He's annoying because I will get a lot of shocks on me, and I think Day 3 or 4 I'm finishing with less than 50% of my health, with pretty much playing it relatively well. So the Hulkbuster himself, he's not a hard champion to face, but there I mess up a little bit, which I will use a few items, but we'll get into that when that happens. But Map 8 so far is not bad. I don't know if it like changes, like Map 7 has 3 variations of it. I don't know if Map 8 is going to do that. I do know that so far they said they are not going to add on extra tactics or whatever that was called, like So Say It Doom and stuff like that. They're not going to do that as of now, so that's good. So he goes down and the next fight is Venom. Sometimes I'll actually take this with Claire. That is the Mystic that I like to bring in for this. She actually gets around Divine Barrier because of how she does her, I don't know, her special 2 puts some sort of a debuff on there that just stops all incoming buffs for a duration of time. So it's not really nullifying or anything like that. It's just preventing, if that makes any sense. So I elected to take her because of she can heal, she has power control, and she has burst damage. So she was just, I mean, even though mine's a rank 5-star, she still puts in work in my opinion. So that is the Mystic that I like to take in, that I've found out. And sometimes I'll use her against this Venom depending on how low my Nick Fury's health is. And I've been doing that in the later days a lot more so far. But today we're using Nick Fury. He gets him down relatively smoothly. No issues there. Yeah, we'll be moving on here in just a second. I elect to hit into his block to pretty much drop him because I didn't want to take any more block damage. Sometimes that's a strategy I'll use. I'll wait till they back off and I'll hit into their block to create myself an opening by getting them to a bar of power, or just dropping them if they're low enough. Jubilee, the way I like to fight Jubilee is I like to bait out her special 1. It's very easy to punish, and I don't find her to be a hard character. Although I do find myself sometimes doing her heavy, kind of like Super Scroll. She'll do the initial shot, in her case, not punch, and then she'll do multiple ones after that, and I just kind of forget and I run in to punish, and then I just get tagged. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that with Jubilee, but that's been my experience with her a lot sometimes, where I just forget that she has multiple hits on her heavy, like right there, boom. See, I was going in to punish and then whoop, yep, just got tagged. But it didn't cost us, fortunately. And every time I play her, I try to remember that, but sometimes I just forget. Kind of like Super Scroll when he does that multiple punches. Sometimes I try to go in too fast and I get tagged. But as you can see, she's going down relatively fast. And this is the regular Nick Fury. I do value him over, well, not over his real form, but I think that you can put in a lot of work with him. and the idea is to keep him in his real or life model decoy. I keep saying real, I'm sorry. His life model decoy as long as possible before we get to the real Nick Fury form, where we can do the major damage, because we don't have a lot of health to play with at that point. But Nova is next. I do like taking Nova with Nick Fury. The bleeds just drop people so fast, and they have some decent health pools. I've noticed that they have some pretty decent health pools. For some reason or another, I'm not very good at dexing Nova's special one. I don't know if it's the timing or what the case may be, but I see a lot of people are easily able to evade it. I am not one of those people. Actually, I can dex his special 2 more than his special 1. So I don't know. There I just blocked, and it pushed me into my real form. So he's really gonna drop now. That wasn't ideal. I should have dexed it, but I didn't. But yeah, when I'm fighting Nova, actually I'm better at his special 2 evading than his special 1. But down he goes. So we're moving up. And our next section is Delirium. It has, I believe, Wolverine, Havoc, and what is that guy's name on the skateboard? Night Thrasher. There we go. Day 1, I was recommended to bring in Sentinel, and Sentinel did pretty good. The only problem that I saw, this also has Under Pressure and Mighty Charge 2, but you can intercept these guys, and it's supposed to give you like some sort of a Fury buff. The Delirium or the Disorient buff that you get on you from dashing back twice, it's kind of annoying, especially with robots. Since you're recommended to bring in a robot, they can't heal from the debuffs. But Gilly 299 is better in my opinion, and the reason why she's better is because Sentinel, he gets an armor up buff, but it's passive, so it doesn't count when you're fighting Havoc. And I knew from day 1 that those plasma detonators they're going to do damage to me in the later days, especially when it's going to be longer fight. So I opted to bring in Gilly 2099 because she has that active armor up buff, and that's solely the reason why. Another good reason for her is that when you ramp her up, she hits really hard, and I will be trying to ramp her up in order to take on that Kitty Pryde right before one of the bosses. There are 2 bosses on map 8, one being Penny Parker and the other being Spider-Man 2099. I have released a video soloing the 2099 Spider-Man 2099 boss with Nick Fury in his real form, and again, it's unboosted. This whole path is, so if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out, or just watch the entirety of this video and you'll see it there too. But anyway, we're getting them down, and at this point I'm thinking that I needed to have already gotten to 3 bars of power to drop it on them to ramp her up. I think nope, I don't think I do that on Wolverine. On the later days I do, but I thought I did on day 2, but apparently not. It's been a few days since then. But yeah, we get him down with a nice little intercept in the corner. So our next fight is this Havoc. Havoc to me is not a hard champion to fight. He can be annoying, especially if you don't have the right counter, and sometimes he can become passive at the most inconvenient of times. What I mean by that is he has this passive power gain. It's not a fast build, but it is a build, and sometimes when you're trying to bait out his special 2, which is what I try to do a lot, he just doesn't want to throw it, and he'll become really close to 3 bars of power. It's very seldomly that he's gotten to 3 bars of power on me, but still something to be aware of. His special 1, I'm about 90% 100% consistent with dexing it, but sometimes I fail depending on the spacing. I know that sounds kind of weird, but yeah, sometimes with certain characters, the spacing matters, in my opinion, or at least for me to dex it successfully, it does. So he's one of those characters with a special one with those 2 fast beams and then the little third one. I early dexed on that one. That was on me. But that's another example of the spacing because I'm kind of uncomfortable a little bit closer to him. So sometimes I mistime it. I don't think I get hit by it again. Yeah, we're fine there. But yeah, that's just sometimes what happens with me. I think we do get her ramp up on this fight. And yeah, we're gonna move on. But this was a pretty interesting fight. I don't think that Sentinel would have lasted this long at this point, only because of those, like I said, those plasma blasts. And she actually lost her buff at some point, and I took some damage for that. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but fortunately it didn't cost me. And yeah, we got the charge. So we're moving on to Night Thrasher. Personally, Night Thrasher to me is okay to fight. I really don't like his special one. It can be dangerous, but I don't think I get tagged by it or anything. I always try to push him to a special 2. We start the fight off with some lag and then followed by an intercept. And so far it's going okay. He tries to heavy me, and I get him to the 2 bars. There you see we have that disorient on us from backing up twice before the timer cooled off. I get that on me all the time. I don't even worry about it, to be honest. It can affect your gameplay, like if you're trying to parry, or there was a time that I intercepted with it on me and I was wondering why the intercept didn't stick, because they actually end up tagging me. So I don't really know if that had anything to do with the disorient or not, but I mean, I get it on me all the time in all the fights. So I just play the character that I'm fighting. I don't really worry about trying to play the node. It doesn't really do anything, in my opinion, that's too significant. There I lost my combo, and there I got caught, and yeah, she goes down, which is unfortunate. I think at this time I'm going for Nick Fury. He'll do major damage. Now I will be reverse controls, I believe. Without a robot, you'll have inverted controls. So that's what you see there. I get tagged because I was not thinking that I had inverted controls, so I went the wrong way and got tagged. But yeah, down he goes, because we're in the real Nick form now. So we're moving on to our last section here. And this section I think is path 5 again. I think it's path 5. I'm not entirely sure if it's path 5, but anyway, it's the same section that I had in section 1. Those are the same nodes, everything. And I use Nick Fury for this red goblin. He can bleed, and with Nick in his real form, I mean, he drops opponents pretty fast if they are susceptible to bleed damage. So there you just see him dropping really fast. I don't even think he gets to throw a special off on me. Yeah, I don't, what, oh, never mind. He throws this one special, but then I counter and punish. I throw my special one, and down he goes. So, simple fight. We're at 28% health, so that's good. We still have most of our health from the 30%. Crossbones can shrug off Nick Fury's debuffs, but this will be an example of me doing what I mentioned earlier, trying to get him to a bar of power. I like to bait out his special 1. So I'll tap into his block. Sometimes you'll see just to get him to that bar of power. There we got a nice little intercept, and now we're going to bait out his special 1, and we're going to continuously do that. I throw my special 1, something with this node that if you get to 2 bars of power, I think they start power gaining or something like that. So you always want to throw your special ones. That's why I'm continuously throwing my special ones. The only exception to that is with Claire. When I throw her special 2, it puts up that debuff that prevents them from gaining any buffs. So it's fine to do it with her, but it's not fine to do it with like Nick Fury or something like that. So anyway, we're moving on, and this is Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is where we're going to bring in Clairvoyant. Really, in the later days, I've been switching her into the Incinerate mode because of his unblockable special 1. I try to bait out his special 1s. I don't really try to push him to a special 2. There may have been an instance that I pushed him to a special 2, but I can't really remember it. And I can successfully dex his special 1 90% of the time as well. And there, see, we got to a special 2, and see, she throws up that debuff where he can't gain any buffs during that time, and it's working out really well. But I've noticed on here, I don't really know what's going on in the later days. Yeah, in there, actually, I'm starting to degen. So I don't know if that's actually from the node or if that's from Ghost Rider, but that's why I lose so much health with Clairvoyant on this fight, is because I degen, and I'm not entirely sure why I'm degenning. So if you know, let me know, and then I can hopefully adjust accordingly. But yeah, I didn't appreciate all that degeneration, and it gets worse during the later days. But yeah, down he goes. She did her job. I wish I could use Nick there, but he's not. He's bleed immune, so I mean I can use him, but he won't do as much damage. Alright, so next we have Super Stroll, and I'm going to go in with Nick Fury, and yeah, I'm going to get smacked in the face. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, as you can see, boop, I get a 3-piece, no biscuit, but yeah, man. So now I'm playing from behind. I don't know what happened there. I'm pretty good at dexing a special 1, but here you'll see in a second I mistimed the dex and I will go down. And this is where actually something pretty cool happens after I missed this dex. Yeah, so I went too early, like a scrub, and yeah, I got tagged by that little water bubble. I guess he burst my bubble. Alright, so all jokes aside, I go in with Claire, and actually something pretty cool happens. Claire has a signature ability that I've never been able to utilize. I've seen other YouTubers utilize her signature ability. I'm still not fully aware of how it works, to be honest with you, but it did work on this fight. And yeah, I got like 20 charges or something like that, and then I accidentally ran into his special 2. So there, I get a ton of power back from throwing my special 2, immediately go into my special 3, drop it on him. It does decent damage, does pretty good damage. He's at 1%, but now he's going to be at 2 bars of power. I try to rush in to finish him, and boom, tags me with it. But guys, I'm still alive. Like, that was so sick. I was like, oh man, that's the first time I've ever been able to utilize her signature ability. So I thought that was pretty awesome. But yeah, down he goes after I get to a special 3. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now this is the part where I think my path is done with Airwalker. I believe that was my last character that I was supposed to take on my actual path. So I'm going in with Claire. I don't remember if I finished this fight with Claire. I think I do, but I can't remember. Maybe I don't. Maybe I get tagged. Yeah, I think I get tagged or something. Or maybe not. We'll see. Nope, I got it down. Alright, well that's cool. But it wasn't much help there. But now I'm going to just pretty much take over at this point. I'm going to go ahead and take all these last fights. These are not my fights, but I'm a team player and I wanted to take him. So this Psycho Man, I'm going to go down to, I'm pretty sure I will. And then I'm going to use 2 items here. I haven't used any items thus far. Technically, that's the end of my path. I did it itemless technically, but like I said, I wanted to try and solo the boss, which you guys should know I did. And I also wanted to take on that Kitty Pryde as well, since I had Gilly 2099 ramped up. So those are the 2 items that I did use for my path. Again, I didn't have to use any items. My path was done, but still. Here we go with Nick Fury. He's going to go in and do what Nick Fury does and be a beast and drop these fools. I don't have any more. I mean, look at that. That guy is ticking down very fast. I think this path, they have tenacity, which is fine. I mean, tenacity is basically coming from Agent Venom, and back in the day when I fought an Agent Venom, I didn't worry about the tenacity at all. I would still parry, and if you're fast enough, you can still hit them. That's pretty much all that is. You just have to be quick enough to do it. So tenacity doesn't really affect me. Sometimes I'm slow and I'll get punished, but most of the time I'm quick enough to react before they can shrug off the debuff. So next is Massacre. I like to bait out his special 1, but as you can tell, just like that Psycho Man, this dude is done. I mean, 17% health. He throws a special 1 and he's going down with mine. So that was literally like 17-second, 18-second fight. No big deal. Nick Fury is an absolute animal in his real form. All right, so here's this Kitty Pryde that I wanted to face. As you can tell, she doesn't have very much health, only 140,000. But still, I wanted to take her since I had Guillotine 2099 ramped up. So the way that I like to play Kitty Pryde and what I've learned from other people is you don't want to parry. I'm going to mess up a couple times because this is the first time, well, the second time I fought this Kitty Pryde. I fought her on day 1 and I died to her, but this time we'll solo her with Guillotine 2099, who is not ramped up. I forgot about that. So this is a slower fight even still, but we still get the solo. But yeah, so I want to push her to her special 2. And I ran right into, I thought she was done there on the second time, I guess. One of these times I run smack dab into her uppercut. And I got to get the timing down better. And I also get kicked in the face a couple of times, baiting out her heavy. I'm still getting accustomed to her animation. So yeah, right there, boom. Get straight up uppercutted like a Ryu or a Ken, man. Just to, you know, hot man, right up in my grill. But that doesn't happen again, fortunately. I throw my special 3 because I threw it, no real reason to. There we get kicked in the face, straight Chung-Li kick. But yeah, after that I think we're good, guys. I think we've been punished enough, and I think we got the point. Fortunately, it didn't cost us our combo. But there I actually wait for her to do her little uppercut. There I actually move out of the way of that leg thrusting towards my face. Yeah. So yeah, at this point, I'm pretty comfortable. I got it. She's taught me valuable lessons. So I bait out another special 2. She's almost down. I think we're going to try to get her down to the range where I'll kill her with the 5% or less, and then we'll just drop it on her, and that should be that. But yeah, every time she's not at 2 bars of power in there, I accidentally parried. So I swing wildly trying to get to her, but I swing at the air, of course. And then fortunately it didn't cost us. We get her to 2 bars of power. They only gave her 1 prowess. And then we parry. No, we don't parry again. We block and she dashes back. But yeah, that was it. I turtle up a lot. So she doesn't throw her special 1, guys. So that's what I was doing most of that fight when I didn't get her to 2 bars of power. But yeah, down she goes. I would say pretty clean fight, but it was very horrific, but we got it done. And the last but not least, now I'm taking this linked, the links on this fight, you see 4 there, but I actually wait until one of them goes down. And the links is basically unblockable finale. You'll see it here in a minute. Yeah, unblockable finale, unblockable, and then the last one is that power from afar, which I don't even think that happens. I can't be certain that happens. I don't remember. But you basically have a limited amount of parries and dexes. Otherwise, you start taking damage from these nodes, from the regular nodes and stuff like that. So yeah, here's the actual fight in itself. You'll see that heart with a 1. I think you get up to like 7 of those or something like that, and then you start taking some damage or something like that. I didn't really pay too much attention to that because I was too focused on trying to bait out his special ones at the time. I baited out a couple special 2s. I mean, you could punish both of them relatively easy. There, when you knock him down, he gets an evade counter, but since Nick is in his real form, he'll never evade me. So that's why I think Nick is probably the best counter to this fight. If you know how to play really well, I mean, well, you don't even have to play really well, to be honest. You just have to play pretty good, and yeah, he'll go down. I would prefer to bait out a special 1. It got me in a rhythm, but there I got out the special 2, of course. I could have went in and punished, but I didn't know the timing on it, or at that time. I have a Spider-Man 2099 myself, but we have other players in the BG that use theirs, so I don't get to use mine very often. That wither debuff that he puts on us from his special 2 and stuff like that, it's actually healing us. If you run willpower, that's good. And then when Nick Fury knocks down the opponent, those debuffs go away. So again, that's another reason as why I think he's one of the best counters to the Spider-Man 2099. Actually, I will probably say he is the best, in my opinion. But yeah, man, down he goes. So not a very hard fight, in my opinion. We're going to bring up the stats here in a minute. Map 8 is actually doable. I'm enjoying myself with map 8. I'm enjoying my path. There, I finished under Fern with 9,454,847 points. Fern obviously had 11 million points. Congratulations to you. Now let's go ahead and check out how many items we used. I used 2. Fern, how many you used? But thanks, guys. That's gonna do it.